perfect. Lock up the crop sinks.
All the way to the right, right?
To the right, yeah, that's gonna lock up the crop sink, yeah. Almost a straight line, Wilkes-Barre. Then we have Stillwater. I know where it will end in. Make it, man, you look tired. I'm good. And? other Seneca was much cooler. This one's got some nice heat.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Remember the other one we were flying? That was an older one. This one's a much newer one.
Yeah, you can see the
They still make this till today. Yes. You can still buy a brand new Seneca 2015 Piper.
G1000 probably.
G1000, yeah, of course. But you know, same setup. You know, the instrumentation, control. You know, very much the same airframe too. The same engines also. 1.2 million. Brand new one with all the options.
Really?
Yep. You could probably, you know, get something turbine, you know, for that price.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is...
This is not turbo, right?
No, it's turbocharged, but it's not turbine.
Okay.
It's not a turboprop. But for that price, you could probably get a single turboprop. But you're sacrificing, because now you got two engines. And the efficiency on this is much better because piston powered is always going to be more efficient than turbine powered. So you can have one engine burning 40-45 gallons an hour.
Oh,
or even 50 gallons an hour.
Huge difference.
Yeah, because it's turbine powered. And the cost also.
Oh yeah.
Overhauling a turbine engine is so much more expensive than overhauling a piston.
Oh yeah, I can imagine, but then again...
Yeah, it's very similar to a car engine, you know.
Just like anything else, you get your minuses and your pluses.
Absolutely. You gotta look at your style of flying.
Oh yeah.
How you look at it. Do you fly more than 100 hours a year? Yes, you're better off buying. No, you're better off leasing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
What is your trip? Get up there for half an hour sightseeing, come back? You don't need something fancy as this. You can have something like a 172 or something, you know, very straightforward.
Or a Cirrus.
Yeah, Cirrus.
Actually, the one that you flew is beautiful.
Oh, the SR-22, yeah. That's
actually, maybe we could take that out next week.
Yeah. We'll work something out. We'll try to work something out for you.
That's a nice one with the joystick.
Yep, it's got a stick.
Yeah, I love that.
You like the stick on the side?
I would love to try it.
Yeah.
Is it easier? A little easier?
Yeah, stick. I always think that a stick is easier than a yoke because you got the stick and you go this way. Basically, it's where the airplane is going, while this doesn't really duplicate what the axis is doing.
Oh,
I'm a stick, you know, kind of, but, you know, some airplanes just come with a yoke.
Yeah, I would love to try that flight.
Yeah. We'll see if you can, if we can hook you up with an SR-22.
What's that run about an hour?
I think it's in the 300s, somewhere in the 300s, yeah.
Really?
250, I gotta see. I gotta check it out.
So 172 is cheap.
Oh yeah, 172, you're like $1.75, yeah.
Why 300? Because it's more fuel?
It's a bigger motor.
Oh, really?
It's a more expensive airplane. You know, 172, you're looking at 300,000.
Oh.
350,000 brand new. SR-22 brand new with all the options, air conditioning, everything is probably about 800,000.
Oh.
Yep. When you go on Google, you know, kind of check fuel burn, cost of ownership.
Oh yeah.
You got all these websites. And then you can tell yourself, you know, this is for me, this is not for me, I can afford this, I cannot afford this. I'm going to go on a long trip, I want to have a lot of fuel, I want to have two engines just in case one engine goes bad. You know, I want to go stretch over a body of water. You don't want to have a single, you can have a single engine over a stretch body of water, but it's not as safe as having a twin.
That is true.
I mean, look at all the airlines. They don't have single engine operation. It's minimum two engines. And even then, sometimes both of the engines go bad. Like the U.S. Airways that landed over the Hudson.
Yeah, but that's different. That's birds.
Yeah, both engines got busted. Definitely, if you don't fly much, it's better to lease. Because, you know, look at insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a pretty big cost.
I can imagine.
The more expensive the airplane, the more expensive the insurance is. You're going to look at tie-down to park the plane in the airport.
Okay, yes.
Cost of maintenance, inspections, airworthiness directives.
Oh, yeah.
Just wear and tear, tires, you know, wheel bearings, you know, brake pads, all that stuff. It's going to cost you money. We have to actually look underneath and see if there's a couple of screws you can release.
Yeah, that's probably what I was.
But don't forget.
Romeo, contact Binghamton at 118.6. Good night.
28.6, just to verify, 128.6 for 42 Romeo.
118.6, 18.6.
18.6, 118.6, 42 Romeo. So long. Good evening, approach Seneca for 142 Romeo, level 7000, direct Lima Victor Zulu.
Seneca 142 Romeo, Binghamton approach, good evening, Binghamton altimeter 2996.
2996, 42 Romeo. 2996, right on. How'd you like Baltimore area? Was it a hike to go to the White House or half an hour?
About an hour.
An hour?
Altogether, yeah.
Kind of a hike. Well, you're on the northern side of Washington area, so.
We should have looked into Washington Dulles as well.
Dulles is probably closer.
Yeah. Probably landing fees were great.
I think it's too bad. Probably, yeah. Anywhere you go in those. They waive some of the fees, but... let me see, what is this here? That's the fuel charge. Oh, that's the... yeah, that's signature right there. Okay, landing fuel is 44, handling charge 82, but they waive it off because when you put gas. So when you put gas, they waive that off. Airport parking, $13. I guess we stay there for like 4 hours or whatever, 3-4 hours.
Seneca 42 Romeo, contact Wilster approach on 124.5. Good night.
24.5, 42 Romeo. Good night. 24.5.
Oh, just oops.
Good evening, approach Seneca 4142 Romeo, level 7000.
Seneca 42 Romeo, will square approach and square altimeter 3009er.
009er, 42 Romeo.
42 Romeo, flight amendment to the route advisory, ready to copy.
Ready to copy, 42 Romeo, go ahead.
42 Romeo, proceed direct to Allentown, Foxtrot, Juliet, Charlie. Direct to Solberg, Sierra, Bravo, Juliet, direct.
Direct to Fox, Juliet, Charlie, and direct to Sierra, Bravo, Juliet, direct, 42 Romeo.
42 Romeo, read back direct.
Fox, Juliet, Charlie now. A little bit of a reroute. Let's see how far they're going to send us. A Fox, Juliet. Ooh, picking up some bumps here, buddy. Fox Juliet Charlie. Allentown. Looks like they're sending us a little bit further to the south. And then direct Solberg. SBJ. They shouldn't be too busy. What time is it now? At midnight already?
About, yeah, that's
midnight. And then, let's see, I think the rest is just the gas. Infrastructure fee, I think that's my security fee or something. So total fees are 44, 60 bucks. Not much. Oh. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Do we have to change out some of this between our reasons?
No, we're good. 2996, right? 2996. Is that 30000?
Other verify altimeter setting for 42 Romeo.
Someone just checked on Will's got his broken up on over today.
What do you say?
I didn't hear him.
Just to verify the current altimeter setting for 42 Romeo.
3009er for the current altimeter.
3009er, 42 Romeo.
009. Yeah, you may have to DCS it back down a little bit, 50 or 100 feet.
Yeah, 300, right?
Yeah.
Good. Is that correct?
3009er, a little bit further. A little bit further, 3002, 3004, 3005, 3006, 300, there, right there.
Yeah. Drop it.
Let's do it. See if we're picking up some moisture up here. No, pretty dry. Always good to take a look at the motor, make sure they're happy. And the leading edge of the wing, just in case you're in moisture. This thing has boots, so you can pop the boots.
Oh yeah,
and it has a prop heat also. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, man. See, surface de-ice, and then propeller heat. You have windshield heat also if the... Yeah. This is a lot of stuff you don't have on the older Seneca.
Yeah.
So when you're flying in the weather, it's much safer. Yeah, you're right, 10 to midnight.
So, where are we? SPJ, that's, what's that?
Solberg. The way you fly, you like occasionally take a big plane. Occasionally you just come with one gift. Sometimes, you know, two. So you're kind of dancing all sorts of equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to own one and then rent the other.
Yeah.
You got to see what kind of flying style you have. If you keep on dancing and all have multiple, you know, multiple airplanes, it's so much better to lease because you can pick and choose the airplane you want for the mission.
Oh yeah.
You see? Because owning 6 different airplanes is crazy.
No, that's ridiculous.
You know?
Slowing this down a little bit.
Yep. Looks like she's climbing up a little bit. Still 100 feet higher. calm for a while. I think summertime was the last time we've been up.
Yeah,
4 or 5 months.
Oh, yeah.
What was it with Ellen that we went to Montauk? We went to have some, seafood. April. It was before the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I can't believe it's almost a year. Time flies. Out there, you can see all the lights. So far we have good weather. What's that mean?
Far screen.
Booster 5240.
Basically you're painting the ground, you're tilting the radar.
240 will spare approach with altimeter 300.
Antenna, you're tilting the radar altimeter 0, and 0 is, straight.
309 down to 4000, booster 5240.
But it's still going to paint some ground.
240, you type vector for
You tilt it up all the way.
Roger.
It's 15 degrees up. Okay. Now you're painting nothing because it's tilted up towards the sky.
Vector for the left hour for runway 22.
Heading 060, booster 52.
What's the best to keep it out? Well, basically you tilt it down until you paint ground, and then you tilt it up until the ground disappears. But when you actually have weather and you're going through thunderstorm and stuff, you can actually tilt it as necessary, and you can just see the difference between ground. Maybe a little bit of moisture out there by Wilkes-Barre. You can get a little bit of moisture up in the air. It doesn't really give you, thunderstorm information or any of that. All you can see is moisture, which is precipitation. Okay. Any liquid in the air, that's what the echo, the return is. Yeah, I mean, this airplane I have no problem, taking in the weather. You don't really, have any issues. With all the anti-ice equipment, and it's a really good solid machine. Very solid IFR platform. And the instrument, the co-pilot instruments are nice also because you can fly it from the right seat. You don't have to look like this.
Yeah.
Just like right there. Easy, much easier.
You don't have the trim, that's the only thing.
No trim, but you can put your hand here on the control wheel and just manual trim it, no problem.
It says auto trim or no?
Yeah, I mean now the autopilot's on, so it's automatically trimming the servo and maintaining your altitude. AFC 150, it's a good autopilot. It's a king autopilot. A 172 is a Cap 140, also a king autopilot, but it's not as sophisticated as this. has a flight director, so you can disconnect the autopilot and have the command bar. You see that orange triangle and those yellow lines? The command bar, you can follow the flight director, and then take you all the way to the runway. If you just put the command bar right there, in between those lines, and just kind of fly it in there. Cap 140 doesn't have that. I mean, the minimum you should have, especially on a long trip, is heading select and altitude hold. Because moving the heading bug is necessary to maintain the course. It's not a big deal. GPS steering is a bonus, but you can still fly heading, and you're not going to get drifted off course that much. But some of the autopilots are wing levelers. Okay. That's not as good. And some of them don't even have altitude select mode, so you can hold your altitude. You kind of just trim it, and then it just kind of stays where you trim it. Expensive, autopilots are expensive. Oh yeah. Some installations are, $15,000, $20,000, but some other installations with all that equipment and stuff can be like up to $100,000. Because you gotta go in the airframe and you gotta put all those servos, little motors that actually move the flight control surface back and forth. And you gotta have, the ailerons, you gotta have it on the horizontal stabilizer. And some of them even have it on the rudder, like a yaw damper, so.
November 4142 Romeo, descend and maintain 6,000.
Leaving 7, descending 6,000, 42 Romeo.
On 6.
District 240 Wilkes Airport here, extend to 11 o'clock and 8 miles.
Yeah, we probably won't be able to see it on this side of the ridge. Blue Street 5240.
Blue Street 245 heading 040.
040 heading Blue Street 5240.
Back to the bumps. I probably want to slow it down just a little bit if it gets too bumpy. See over there, there's a caution is yellow. When it's bumpy, you don't want to be in the yellow caution, you want to be in the green. Not to overstress the aircraft.
District 240 set your 10 o'clock and 4 miles.
100 feet to go. 100 feet.
Off the LS.
Field inside Blue Street 5240.
District 240, third visual approach runway 22, contact tower 120.1.
Clear visual 22 over tower 120.1, Blue Street 5240 connect.
6,000. It's good now, nice and smooth now, that's the only problem.
November 4142 Romeo, contact down, final approach 124.45.
2445, 42 Romeo, so long. Good evening, Allentown, Seneca 4142 Romeo, level 6000, direct Fox Juliet Charlie.
Seneca 4142 Romeo, Allentown approach, good evening. Allentown altimeter is 3018, and 1 able clear direct Linden.
Unable direct to Linden, 42 Romeo, 3018, thank you much.
Direct Linden. Let me see. That's 301, and that's 3018 right there. That's 302. It's right before 302. And you may have to PCS it. Minutes out, man. Well, 20 minutes out. Planning any more trips on this? Because it's going for an inspection at the end of the month. I'm just wondering if you're planning on any other trips, you know, so I know. Green. Everything's on the green. Kind of a long day. Oh yeah. But you up like at 6 o'clock also? Oh, okay. That's what I was. What about last night? Once the food's kind of late. Oh, you gotta be shot. Was that traffic or weather? Those lights. Oh, I think that's a skiing resort. Oh wow. It's a ski resort. Nice. It's a mountain, and then they got skiing all winter. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a really nice spot. You like skiing? Oh yeah. Usually go to Burlington, Vermont. Wintertime. It's a nice spot for skiing. You can stay there overnight. Really nice. If you forget how to ski, you can get an instructor there too. Kind of put you right back in the game. I was so shocked, you know, last time I went. I actually had sunburn, and it was like way below freezing, but I was up in the mountain. Oh yeah. And the sun was just pumping all day long. I got sunburns on my face. It's crazy. And it's like negative.
Seneca 42 Romeo, descend and maintain 5,000.
Leaving 6, descending 5,000, 42 Romeo.